Hi guys, my name is Caitlin and this is flosstube video number 2. Thank you so much for all your nice words, for all your comments and your questions and your likes and your subscriptions. Oh my god, on my first video I really didn't believe anyone was gonna watch it. So I'm blown away by the warm welcome to this community. I'm blown away by the warm welcome to this community, and I'm so happy to meet all of you. Since we have one in our presence, a few of you asked in the last video about the fur monsters. This is Elliot. Say hi. He's a total lap cat, and a cuddle bug. The black fluffy tail you may have seen wandering around in my first video belonged to Bagheera, who is named after the panther in the Jungle Book because he is a more wild animal than house cat. So he's impossible to pick up, does not like it, doesn't really even so much like being pet, prefers to pet himself on your hand, if you know what I mean. So I'll see if I can get a video clip of him to insert at the end of this video to show you, but I won't be able to bring him in because he's not like that. But Elliot, oh, say hi again, is all ready to meet his fans. And he'll probably hang out with me this whole time. I can't believe that August is over, right? Today is the 29th. Labor Day weekend is upon us. I am leaving tomorrow to go upstate for my friend's wedding. She's getting married on Sunday. I'm super excited for her. And yeah, I just really can't believe that September is here. I'm sure those of you with kids are gearing up to go back to school. We don't have kids, so we're just gearing up for the cold weather that I'm sure is about to be upon us. It went pretty quickly from being like an unbearable 80-90 degrees here in New York to being kind of chilly in the mornings. We have a cold day today. It's very cloudy outside, so I put the overhead lights on for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. And I think we might get some rain soon. So I guess I should hurry up and start talking about stitching, right? My upstairs neighbor is home, so I'm gonna hear some footsteps, at least, if not some yelling. Okay, stitching. August was busy at work, but I still managed to I think I'm pretty happy with what I got done. So I have some finishes, right? So first of all, my friend's wedding gift that who's getting married this weekend, who I told you about in my first video. She's a huge Batman fan, and so I wanted to make her a wedding present that was Batman themed, and I made her a and since she's also becoming a stepmom, I wanted to include her stepson in the present. So I modified a Clouds Factory Batman design. This piece of paper is just over there to cover her family name for privacy, but I wanted you guys to be able to see some of the font. So a little bit of glare. I'm so happy with it. I think it looks great. This is done 2/2 on Picture This Plus Haunted. I think it was 28 count. And I made Robin a little shorter and skinnier, and then Batman and Batgirl, I made them slightly taller and fatter to kind of distinguish between adult human and child human. And then I picked this like kind of sketchy comic book font from a font book I had. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I think the framing is a little crooked. It's a little McKenna ghetto, but it turned out pretty good. The frame is from Amazon. I used one of those sticky boards, which probably was a mistake because this font here it's back stitching, but it's like long back stitches. in 2 strands. I was super lazy and I didn't do any couching. So then when I was using the sticky board, it was hard to reposition it without screwing up the long stitches on the back, if you know what I'm saying. But I'm pleased with it. I think she's gonna like it. I'm gonna give it to her tomorrow when I get there. I also finished my travel project, which was Tigger. I think this is a pattern from Stitch Line. I'll do this side on Etsy. Oops. I think it's just called Tigger Silhouette. It says life is not about how, oops, it's not about how fast you run or how high you climb, but how well you bounce. I was telling you last time I did these in the rainbow, I did this in the Rainbow Gallery Splendor threads. It is 2/2 on 28 count peach cameo Lugana. Looks a little more orange in real life than it's showing up here. And I think I was telling you guys how much I hated the Splendor threads, that they were fraying and really hard to work with. I did not have that experience with the teal color. So it could be, oops, showing a pattern in the back. It could just be, I had a lot of problems with the black thread and not the teal thread. So maybe it's just like DMC and some colors just suck. I don't know. I still probably wouldn't use them again, just in case, but so you guys know that I didn't have any problems at all with the teal threads. So I'm pretty happy with how this turned out too. I need to get a frame for it, send it off to my mom. It's gonna be a just because gift. Sorry about that, my neighbor was coming down the stairs, so I thought I would just pause for a second. Okay, so after I finished Batman, I worked on my Hade. This is what it's supposed to look like. It's called Ecus Caballus. Definitely pronouncing that wrong. My Latin is non-existent. But this is what it's supposed to look like. I'm also stitching this for my mom. I'm really good about taking before and after pictures for this one, so there's definitely a before picture and I will insert it here for you guys so you can see where I was at before. And this is where I'm at now. This is done on 28 count Whisper Lugana 1/1. So this is the bottom of page 12. So I did this column down to the bottom of page 12. Getting a little glare, sun's changing. Might actually be coming out. And then I decided after I got to the bottom of page 12, which is a full coverage page, that I would work across the top of page 11, because page 11 is where the horse's nose is. And I figured, I don't know, I mean, I was kind of tired of stitching abstract gray shapes, and I thought that maybe if I worked down page 11 and started to see something that actually resembled a horse, I would be inspired to like move faster on this. I started this in January and I still haven't finished a page. The good news is I did some math, and if I continue stitching this at this rate, I will have this project finished in only 35 years. So right around the time I'm ready to retire, right? I joined NP's full coverage group for next year, and I'm hoping using her use her challenges to kind of push me to make more progress on this, because I really do love it when I'm stitching it. I think that I'm just overwhelmed sometimes by the amount of work there is to do on it. And I get a real rush from finishing projects, and I know how long it's going to take to finish it, so I tend to push it aside for small projects because I can get that finish. But I joined NP's group, and then also it sounds like in Soulful Stitching for next year, Melanie is letting us use Hade pages as like to count towards our whip count. So I'm also going to commit to doing, I think, at least 3 pages on it next year. And I'm gonna try and visit it more often in my rotation next year. I don't know. I need to pick up the pace on it. So I'm trying to find ways to inspire myself to just, I don't know, work faster. Okay. After I worked on that, I worked on my wedding sampler. I talked to you guys about this in my first video. This is a restart. It's an Etsy pattern that I've modified to make my wedding sampler. So I will insert a picture of what it's supposed to look like here. I was originally stitching this on Ivory Aida. And I got about a quarter of the way done, and I decided I wanted to restart it. And I'm really glad I did. So I'll insert a picture here of where I was when you saw it last. And this is where I'm at now. So I have almost all of the top flower done and started a leaf. I'm really glad I decided to restart this, you know, because when I look at the stitches on the old project compared to my stitches here, it's kind of neat to see how I've grown as a stitcher and how I've improved in the course of a year. Cat hair on everything. If that makes sense. I mean, the only person that matters to is me, obviously. But I don't know. It's kind of nice to see my progress when I compare the 2 projects side by side. I also think this is done 1/2 on 32 count silver moon linen. This is probably not enough coverage for some people, but I like it. I kind of like that you can see the fabric through. I think it's okay sometimes for stitched projects to look stitched, you know. Sometimes I like seeing the X's instead of the blocks, if that makes sense. But anyway, I'm glad I chose to restart it. I'm glad I haven't UFO'd it. I think it's looking really pretty, and despite my difficulties with the chart, I'm happy. I'm happy with how it's coming along. Obviously, there's still a lot to go, and so we'll see how I feel about it after, I don't know, 5 more flowers. Sorry, the street sweeper was going by. It was super loud. Okay, so the next thing I worked on was Coffee Quaker. You guys have all seen this. I drank the Kool-Aid. Drank the Kool-Aid early on, and haven't made much progress since. I don't have a before picture for this, but it doesn't matter because I did so little. So I'll just tell you all I did was work on this motif here. Didn't even finish it. This was a really bad stitchy week for me. Oh, this is stitched on 32 count Jublin in Summer Sky. It's like a beautiful light sky blue. I love this fabric. I want to stitch everything on it. That was a really bad stitchy week for me. I had a really crazy work schedule. I was bouncing around from a couple different shows. There's something in film production called day playing, which means you, like a film or a TV show will have its core group of crew, its core crew. And then on days when there's like a crazy stunt or maybe animals or like a really big scene, they'll hire additional people just for that day. And so I was doing that all week on a bunch of different shows, which was super fun. I love doing that because you get to meet a lot of new people and go a lot of new places, and there's usually something really awesome going on. Like one day there was elephants. That was really cool. But the kind of crazy thing is because you're changing to different projects, your schedule gets to be like all over the place. So there was days where I was working like 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and then huge truck going by. Why not? There's days where I was working like 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and then like say on the Monday, and then on Tuesday I'd be working 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So I would have a lot of interruptions today. So I would have like very little time between finishing work and starting work, and so I basically got no stitching in that week. But that's okay. There'll be other weeks to stitch. All right. After Coffee Quaker, I worked on Happily Ever After, the Frosted Pumpkin Stitch Along. I'm not going to show you guys a picture of this because everybody's seen it. But this is where I am on that. And again, no before picture, but the only thing I worked on was July. And I have 3 days left in the rotation for this project. So I'm hoping to finish July today. And I'm also hoping before I put this away for another rotation to finish August, you know, and then I'll be not caught up because I still haven't, you know, all this, but a little more on track. This is stitched on, I don't know if it's 28 or 32, but it's Lugana, and it's from Picture This Plus in the colorway Chime. It's like a very light buttery yellow, like a lot of sparkle. This needle minder is a macaroon because I love sugar. I don't remember where I got it from. So because I finished Tigger was my subway project and my waiting room project, and because I finished that, I needed a new one. And then I saw this in the September issue of the Just Cross Stitch magazine in the Halloween ornament section. This one right here. It's not focusing on that. There we go. It's called Manic Mushroom. And I love this, right? I love this mushroom's face, like his expression. There have been many days, and there will probably be many more days where I will be on the same wavelength as this mushroom. I know this expression. I've been there. There are a lot of days where I feel it. So it's meant to be a Halloween ornament, but I am stitching it, and I'm going to put it in a frame, and I'm just going to hang it in my kitchen so I can look at it every day because I think it's awesome. It's called Manic Mushroom, and the designer is, who's the designer? Cassandra Calvaca Conforti. Sorry, Cassandra, if I butchered your name. But this is how far along I am with it. I'm stitching it with the Call for DMC threads on, obviously, 28 count mushroom Lugana. And so far I have one mushroom and 1.5 hands. But I'm having a lot of fun with this one. Really enjoying it. And then I had one more new start. This pattern had been in my shopping cart for Down Sunshine. And then I had one more new start. This pattern was in my shopping cart for Down Sunshine Lane for like 6 months. And I don't know, for some reason I just never pulled the trigger. And then I was on Etsy, and I don't know if this has always been the case, and I only just figured it out, but the Primitive Hair has an Etsy store where she sells PDF versions of her charts. So I bought it. It was like half the price of a printed chart, and I didn't have to wait for it to be shipped. So I bought it, and I started it. So it's the Beatrix Potter Sampler by The Primitive Hair. It's a PDF, so I'll put a picture of it in here. And I have just a small start, just a quick start on it there, the center. I'm stitching this 2/2 on 28 count Lugana from Color and Cotton in the colorway Ruins. And it's like, this is looking a little more gray than it is in person. This is a beautiful fabric. I love it. I signed up for her Fabric of the Month Club, and she has 3 options. You can pick brights, neutrals, or like random. And I picked random, so I had no idea what I was going to expect. This was my first fabric from her, and I love it. The color reminds me of, like, I think Ruins is just the perfect name for it, because it has like the look of like an old stone. You know what I'm saying? Like a limestone maybe, or just this like yellowy green and this greeny gray. I love this fabric. As soon as I opened it, I was like, oh, Potter sampler immediately. So yeah, so I've got a small start on there. I'm gonna get back to it next week on Saturday, so I guess this week. Okay, and that is it for whips, right? Okay, so plans, I don't know. We're doing so much traveling in September. Like I said, we're going away tomorrow until after Labor Day. In the middle of the month, we're taking a trip for our first anniversary. We're gonna go to Colorado for a few days and visit my best friend. And then we're gonna go to Vegas. I'm so excited. Yeah, we're going to Vegas for like 4 days. We got a Groupon for one of the hotels on the Strip. We have tickets to see Penn and Teller. We have reservations at a fancy restaurant for dinner. And I mean, of course we're going to Stitcher's Paradise. If you're wondering, did you pick Vegas for an anniversary destination because the first anniversary gift is traditionally paper and Stitcher's Paradise is located in Las Vegas? Yes, 100%. That was most of the deciding factor, most of the reason I suggested that destination. The other reason is because my husband's never been, and you know, I figured we should go now while we're young and we don't have kids, and we don't have many responsibilities. But mostly I want to go to Stitcher's Paradise. I'm really excited. I don't have an LNS here. I have Michael's. I've been looking. It's crazy because you would think in New York there would be one. But anytime I think I found one, it turns out that it's actually a yarn store with a very small embroidery section, or a needlepoint store that doesn't sell fabric. I mean, they'll sell like a lot of threads, which is amazing, but they don't sell any fabric or cross-stitch charts. Margo, I'll link her channel below. Hi, Margo, who lives just outside of the city, recently went to one. It's an hour's drive from me, but I don't have a car. So it's also like about almost 2 hour, like 1 hour, 45 minute public transit. But we're getting a rental car tomorrow to drive to this wedding. So, it's going to be a little detour, to stop by the LNS that Margo found, I can't remember the name right now, but I will definitely tell you guys about it next time because I will show you my haul from there. So that's exciting. But anyway, yes. Huge rabbit trail. Plans. Because we're doing so much traveling, I don't know if I should stick to my rotation or if I should take like a rotation vacation like Ingeborg did, and just bring stuff that travels well. I'm definitely going to work on Happily Ever After today and tomorrow before I leave. I might take it with me to the wedding. I'm going to take the mushrooms with me, that's for sure. I'm hoping to finish that this month. This month meaning September, not August, but and I'm hoping to get some serious progress done on Beatrix Potter because I'm really excited about that one. And that's, I think I might also take, I might take Fabulous Women. It's so wrinkled. It's so wrinkled and I'm so behind, and Virginia Woolf, empty eye sockets are so freaky. Yes, so I've completed January in Fabulous Women, and that's it. I think I might take it with us on to Vegas because this is a good plane project, because I'm stitching it on Zweigert's vintage blue fabric. It's like vintage country mocha, only the blue version. It's printed, so it's low maintenance, you know, and all the colors are already, like the DMC is already on its own ring, and it's easy, it'd be easy to grab to go. So I might take that to Vegas. I don't know. We'll see. We also have more friends getting married in September at the end of the month and in October at the beginning of the month. So I kind of feel like I should stitch something for them, but I haven't picked a pattern or figured it out. So I got nothing. I don't know. My plan right now, my plan is no plan. Is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so stashquisitions. First of all, Melanie, the Soulful Stitcher, hi Melanie, sent me a gift. Thank you so much. It's adorable. So this is the Cricut collection. It's called The Eyes Have It. And look at these guys. Look at these little faces. I don't really do a lot of Halloween or like seasonal stitching, but I have to make an exception for these faces. Look at this skull and this witch. Also, I love this moon. And I think this could be a year-round hang on the wall thing, right? So thank you, Melanie. I mentioned the fabric of the month from Color and Cotton, but I also subscribed to her thread of the month club. And I got my first shipment this month. And the cool thing was everything she sent was like Halloween themed, which I thought was smart because a lot of people do their Halloween stitching in August or September, so they can have it fully finished for Halloween in October. So everything she sent was Halloween themed. They were packaged much nicer than this. I've like already used some of these, so they're kind of like, so this is chalkboard. It's like a really pretty, variegated gray. I tried to use this for the Batman project, but it was too close to the fabric color, but I'm sure I'm going to use it for something because it's gorgeous. This is spiced orange. Oops, cat hair. Spiced orange. Just like a golden orange. This is primitive pumpkin. It's pretty orange. This is my second favorite. Cauldron. It's a green. And then this is my favorite. I love this. Witch's Socks. It's purple color. It's beautiful. I've heard that these are color fast. Angela says they're color fast. Everyone I've heard review them says they're color fast. I haven't tried it, but I believe they are Color Fast. I'm super excited to stitch with them. I also got okay, so I'm doing Stitch from Stash, but you wouldn't be able to tell because I've had some eBay incidents. I love shopping, and I don't mean like acquiring things. I love the hunt. I love looking for a bargain. I love trying to find that specific hard to find thing. It is my favorite part about my job. There's a lot of shopping involved in props and set dressing. Not really set dressing, more in props, but it's my favorite part about work, when we get to look for really random, crazy, cool, hard to find things. I love it. I love grocery shopping. I love clothes shopping. I love shopping for work. I love shopping for my home. I love shopping for stitchy stuff. I love shopping. Even if it's just window shopping. Okay, you get it. I like shopping. I also am a little competitive. I like winning. So eBay is kind of the perfect storm for me. Because it's shopping, but it's also a contest. Like when you win an auction, you're like, I won! So yeah, I should not, it's like, you know how you shouldn't go to the grocery store hungry? I should not go on eBay without looking for something specific. And eBay knows, because it will send me these emails like, oh, we haven't seen you in a while. Here's some prairie schoolers we think you'll like. Or, hey, we saw that you looked at this thing and you didn't buy it. Like, you don't want somebody else to get it, do you? Like, just, eBay knows. So, I had a couple eBay incidents this month. I don't regret it. I'll climb out of the Stitch from Stash hole eventually. If I'm good this month. I mean, like I just talked about going to 2 LNSs in September, so I don't know, but I'll, maybe October, I'll climb out of that hole. Okay, so on eBay, I got this Mill Hill kit. I got him because he looks like Bagheera. This is what my cat looks like. Black, fluffy tail, green eyes. Surprised expression. I'm gonna make this a Christmas ornament and hang it on our tree. Or maybe a magnet so I can look at it all the time. It was a good deal. No regrets. I also got, I'm still on the bee kick. Thanks, Michelle. This Rosewood Manor Berkshire Beehives. This has like a lovely thing on the back. I'll read it to you. Artist statement. My eldest grandson, Dylan, that's my husband's name, who is 4 years old at the time, inspired this design when he was cuddled up at my side watching me stitch a sampler. After explaining what a sampler was, he asked if I could make one for his room. Thrilled, I agreed that I could indeed. I asked him what he would like on it. He replied, Grammy, I would like bees. Lots of bees. So she did this for her grandson who requested a sampler of lots of bees, and look, there's tons of bees. I think it's really pretty. And I wanted to start this right away, but would you believe I have none of the DMC, well maybe not none, like I have 310, but I have none of the DMC colors called for in this pattern. It's just DMC, and it blows me away. Every time I think like I gotta have a full set by now. Now I get a pattern and I need to buy all the colors on it. How that can be possible when I have a whole box of DMC in my living room, I have no idea. But anyway, I love this. It calls for this like, I don't know if you can tell, this honeycomb fabric you can buy, this printed honeycomb fabric that was designed for this sampler, but I'm just gonna stitch it on ivory, I think, because I have a big piece of ivory. I also got this from the Victoria sampler. This is the O Canada sampler. Somebody on Stitch Mania stitched this for Canada 150. Canada turned 150 years old this year. Looks like this pattern was designed for 1992. I guess that would have been 75 years, maybe. No, 125. This was probably designed for its 125th birthday. I got it at a good price. I've been wanting it since I saw it on Stitch Mania, and I don't know, I've been a little homesick lately. I haven't lived in Canada for, it'll be 13 years this fall that I've lived in the United States. But my whole family's still there. I'm the only one down here in in America, as we call it. And I've been a little homesick lately. It's been a long time since we visited, so I think that's why I keep buying Canadian themed stuff. So this is on my list of things to stitch soon. It's all DMC except for these letters here call for a Needle Necessities threads, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Needle Necessities is out of business, so I'll have to find a match for that. Calls for some Krennic, and then everything else is DMC, but I don't know, I might see, maybe this is crazy, I might see if I can find an NPI silks conversion, or like a silks conversion for it. I don't know. I kind of feel like I might want to stitch these in silk, or the snowflakes. I don't know, I'll think about it. I have a lot of things to do before I get to this, so. And then finally, this doesn't even count as like an eBay incident because it was such a good deal. I got, like, I'm like drowning in fabric in this house, and I ordered 10 pieces at the Picture This Plus sale, haven't gotten them yet, and now I'm part of a Fabric of the Month club, but for some reason I still bought a fat quarter of Picture This Plus linen in 40 count in Heritage. It was a good deal. It was like $15 I got it for, I think, which is almost half price. I mean, when something is priced that well, you just have to buy it. That's one of the rules of cross stitch, I'm pretty sure. And I think that's it. It's possible that I bought other things and have mentally blocked them out. I think that's everything. It's everything I bought. That's everything I did. It's everything I hope to do. I'm going to clean up this mess. And I'm going to run to the post office before it starts raining and do some things around the house. I hope you guys have a great September. I hope you get a lot of stitching done. If you've got little ones starting school, going back to school, big ones maybe going back to school, I hope that all goes well for them, and that it's not too chaotic for you. And I hope you guys have a little bit of eBay success this month. You know, not too much if you're doing Stitch from Stash. Yeah, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys on the groups and on flosstube. I've been watching a lot of flosstube this month, so as soon as I turn this off, I'm going to go back to watching Talia and Stitchy Ryan. Have them queued up. So yeah, take care, guys. Bye. Hello. What are you doing? Can I say hi? Yeah, hi. Okay, go back to sleep. Oh, tough life being a cat.